Autism in Girls Part 2. Do any of these remind you of your daughter? Because she may well be showing autistic traits. So, first of all, do you find that sometimes she struggles with friends? Is she sort of saying to you, or are you seeing that she gets upset when she really didn't need to because she might have misread a situation? Or are you seeing that her friends are falling out with her and she doesn't understand why? She's just stated the obvious about something and they get all uppity about it and they're like, oh, what did you say that for? And that sort of thing. Particularly talking round about teenagers now, because this could be the time when girls with autism really start to struggle, because they go through puberty and the whole way that girls communicate really changes, and it becomes much more of sort of gossipy based way of interacting with each other, and that can be really hard for autistic girls to follow, because they don't always pick up on sarcasm, they don't always pick up on unspoken words, you know, sort of like meanings behind words, and then they can say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and then all of a sudden they don't know why their friends have fallen out with them. So that can be like a really big one for autistic girls. Another thing that we see, and I've talked about this before, is a really strong sense of justice. So of course we all have a strong sense of justice, well, most people do, you know, doing the right thing. But with girls with autism, this can be really, really pronounced. So to the point of, you know, they feel that they have to take action with something that they feel is wrong, or they get deeply, deeply upset by what they perceive as a miscarriage of justice or something that's gone wrong, to the point where it's, you know, they can't stand it. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, yeah, you know, we don't like cruelty to animals, we don't like, you know, people committing crimes and stuff like that. Yeah, so everyone has a strong sense of justice. But with autistic girls, it's almost like a really black and white thing. With autistic people, actually, generally, it's such a black and white thing that there can't be any other option than black or white, right or wrong, and sometimes they really struggle to see the nuance of why some things occur, and it can be really, really upsetting for them. So finally, in this part 2, I want to talk about something called fawning, which again, I've talked about this before. Fawning is where girls will just try and say or do anything to fit in or to please other people. Yes, and again, we can all say we are people pleasers, but this is something that they don't even really know they're doing, and it's, you know, they get to a stage where they think that everything that they think or say is wrong. They're starting to notice they're different from other people in the way that they process things and the way they think about things. And so they take the least path of resistance, which is to just, well, you know, what do you want to do, or what do you want to do? What film do you want to watch at the cinema? I don't mind, whatever you want to watch at the cinema. And then you sort of say, okay, we'll watch such and such, and they're like, and you're like, well, I thought you wanted to, you know, and it's this really sort of weird thing. Well, why didn't you say? And that's fawning, and that's quite common in girls with autism. So does any of this sound like your daughter? I get so many comments on my TikTok videos, and it, you know, the amount of times people say, you've just described my daughter, you've just described my daughter, you've just described my daughter, is immense. So I'm just interested to see if you think that describes your daughter. And I'll see you in part 3.